Abusunya mo bibia kwaba. Dr. Zaato a political analyst. Sansona Owura Solomon Owusu the communications director the new UPA Aba, what I say, United Party Plus, Uralan Kojuchi Mountain, the party no. Na mubaka ya ndo alete bi beto mountain so analete no ni na the extension of Yura Inspector General of Police IGP Yohonu na ni period in office and as ni tenure in office no. Na nka ebeso this coming December but enei omo amano Yura John the Money Mahama president amani 2 years extension so fanya den on for entering an office. Now when I cause a lot of controversies on the social media space, any traditional media, any newspaper, any television stations. When a doctor Zaato, any one political analyst, Bina Solomon Owusu so eka ho, any Adanko for binum so you could in ade omo clash on TV3 on this same issue. Meso so be jimbre na wanya adaje ne yakuti nse ni bi ediaba. Adaroma fa comment tumbra kom conversation ne ekoso na wa like jumadi na wa share na foforo etimi enye biahwe. Hanom remains your number one authentic platform Get TV. Yankopon kan na unshira papa.
Your one is very beautiful.
Yeah, well. Thank you. It's made by Ellis Couture, Site 3, Tema Community 1. You can reach her on 024 651 6886. And I have Dr. Joshua Jabuntie Zaato. Good morning to you, Dr. Zaato. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Great. And then Solomon is back after a week's travel. He traversed the length and breadth of the world and the country he's back. Too much words, right? Solomon, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Roland.
Yeah, Director of Communication for the United Party. How's Alan Chamantin doing?
He's very strong and poised for action come 2028.
Great. There's a lot happening in your former party, so your rival party, and you know that there are primaries coming up. So
the
NPP
but the NPP's collapse, I've told you.
You cannot make those
conclusions.
conclusions.
They are only in the extra time when once it is it manifests, all of you will witness it. For now, you will not take it serious, but when it manifests, then we come back here and give me my story. We have been proven right so many times, so it's just a matter of time.
We'll see how that goes.
But I will embrace Zaato into the UP. That is the only advantage you get out of it.
I'm not sure NPP Sisalai's constituents will be happy.
What is he going to do? The contest on the ticket of the NPP.
But he's contested the primary ones.
And he lost it and left there.
But he's a main candidate.
Who's main candidate? UP's candidate or
the MPP's candidate for the primaries?
You intend to contest on that ticket, Zaato?
When the time comes, I'm sure.
You a mischief. It's like we were born in the same day.
No, I am
mischief. You were born in the same day.
Let me acknowledge the presence of Yemole Yemo. She lives in the UK as well, Yemo. It's been a while. And then Prince Nani York has also joined us. Mensa Maji joined us from Bono. Azongona Mandela. Samuel Kate, good morning. Stephen Joe also has joined us. Rene Lopez. Empress, I've seen you as well. So for all those who are joining us, we're grateful that you've joined us this morning. Mensa Maji says, I'm watching from Bechim, Toronto. I've always wondered why there's Toronto in Bechim. Pearl Aflakwe also has joined us, and already they say the salvos are being found. Okay, and so we'll put what the position of the presidency was, or the administration was at the beginning of administration, on the line on the screens for you. You got to find the green letter, and that green letter clearly states that. And that green letter clearly states that suspension of the grant of contract appointments, and this one was on the 2nd of April 2025. And it says the grant of post-retirement contract appointment to retired public staff, or the public service staff, has been suspended with immediate effect, and consequently all requests for such appointment will no longer be considered. kindly take note of this directive and ensure strict compliance. So if you're in public service, that's what it means. All right. Signed by PhD Callistus Mahama, the 2nd of April. There's no other communication to that effect that the policy of the government has changed, but we just got the news over the last 24 hours that the current IGP Yohonu has his time in office extended additionally, even though by this time, if you go by the refrain of Johnny Hughes and Johnny's by let the retirees go, let the young grow, the supposition will be a question posed whether we don't have people who perhaps will be liked by the president or the administration to fill the shoes of Yohonu should he be retiring, and so has got a lot of tongues wagging. And Fred, I'm told by Robert Coleman, Chief Executive of Wembley Sports Construction, that you were at the AstroSurf Construction commissioning at Ekropon. You were there yesterday.
Yeah, yes. Well, I just want to say, are we ignoring the color combination between the two of them? Are we ignoring the color combination? Are you Fred? I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm just saying.
The color combination here is yellow, green, and blue.
Green, you see?
Roland,
the yellow is for the black.
Roland,
what is wrong with that?
Roland, a man who can defy his own party, even when they have boycotted their platform. You can
just say the color combination.
So nice.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So Robert Kuman said you were at the Ekropon AstroTurf commissioning by Wembley Sports Construction.
I met my brother and friend Koma, I think at Ekropon, where we commissioned one of his projects. You know, I think he's doing a good job. You know,
has he promised to construct one for you at?
If he doesn't, you know what I'll do to him. He needs to come and construct one in the Guan constituency, and so we are having a discussion on that already. I'm sure he will come and construct one for us. We want to develop sports, especially football, in the Guan district. We intend to set up an academy so that we can nurture the young ones. And so I'm in talk with him. To bring all his partners, both home and abroad, to come and team up with us so we can set up a beautiful academy and develop sports talents.
I see. Robert Coleman. So the directive, has it changed? What, based on your inquiries when you got the topic, what did those other presidency tell you?
Well, it is true. I think you first, let me say good morning to our cherished viewers, especially the good people of the Guan constituency, and His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, the Honorable Atufosen, the team that is managing Ghana's economy. Roland, I'm sure you followed the budget that was presented in Parliament. And so far, everybody is happy with the content of the budget. And what people are praying for is that we are able to implement to the latter so that Ghana will become the beneficiary. I am so impressed about the fact that we intend to invest heavily, especially in palm plantation, so that we can generate more raw materials to, you know, feed our industry, much the same way the rubber industry. You know, I don't know if you have ever been to GREL, you know, Ghana Rubber Estate Company in the Western region. You know, these are institutions that were set up by several Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration, so we can get raw material and produce our own rubber, produce our own car tires in this country. But it interests you to know that as we speak today, the rubber that we need, the rubber fiber that we have in this country, they are producing at 29% capacity. You know, it means that we have more room for improvement. Unfortunately, people are still exporting rubber in its raw state out of this country. If you
are digressing from the topic.
I am not. I'll get there.
Okay.
It's just an introduction comment, which we always do. Why are you being impatient this morning? What did you eat?
I had Banku and Fatridechi yesterday.
I'm not surprised.
Thank you, Philippine God for the food.
I am not surprised. So the rubber industry, I think it's a major issue. If you're able to invest more, expand the farms, I'm told I've got about 100 acres of expansion of the farm. If you're able to do it, it will create more employment for the young people. We'll be able to manufacture even our own car tires in this country. And all this can hunter down our roads that are creating accidents and all that. We'll be able to curtail it. Let me, before we come to the substantive issue, we're also getting very close to December and the carnage on our roads. Every time I get an opportunity, I want to talk about it. You know, drivers should take caution. They should drive carefully. We don't want to lose any life to December festivities. Now, coming back to the substantive issues, it's true.
Very well.
That somewhere in April of this year, when we took over office, the Secretary to the President, Dr. Callistus Mahama, issued a statement, I believe from cabinet and from the presidency, that we are not going to extend the number of years of people who have gone on retirement when their time is due. And just yesterday, a statement has come up that the Police Council has approved or has recommended that the current IGP's term of office be extended by another 2 years, even though per his age, this year, December, it would have been going on retirement. But the Police Council has made that recommendation to His Excellency the President, and the President too has yielded the call that was made on him. I have heard people raising concern that what happened then to the directive that was issued in April. You can argue about it whichever way you want to argue about it, but there are always exceptions to the rule. You know, security institutions is a specialized institution, and so sometimes, based on expertise, based on experience, and gauging the mood of the country and what is happening in the country, you may want to, allow people to stay put if you are convinced that their operation, their activities are those that will inure to the benefit of the larger society. I am not too sure what the Police Council knows about the way and the manner the IGP is managing, the police service and, for that matter, the security of the country as of now, for which they made this recommendation. The sad news is that majority of us can run our commentary, we can agree and disagree on this subject matter, but we are not privy to the information that is available to the Police Council. We are not privy to the information that is available to His Excellency the President, because these are security matters. And
so the President has approved this? Yeah,
if the directive or the statement that was issued yesterday is anything to go by, it means that the President has approved on the recommendation that was made by the Police Council to him. Rowan, I think that I really wish we have time, we can go more deeper and open up this particular conversation.
Please open it up.
I recall before the 2024 elections, there were a number of people who were moving around and trying to lobby even political parties. They submitted proposal to parties asking that we look at the age at which people go on retirement in this country. Some of the people proposed that we can even increase the age to 65 years. Now, if you pick Ghana's, population demography and look at it closely, you'd come to agree that we are a very more youthful, society. And a lot of young people have completed the universities and all manner of tertiary institutions who are looking for employment opportunities. And so if you want to keep their fathers and mothers at posts, when are these people who are more energetic, who may have, different ways of want to go about things, when are they going to get opportunity to serve? And so it's a major issue that we have to look at, a major question we have to look at. For me, if you have served at an institution for some number of years, you know very well that you're not going to remain there forever and ever. You should be able to prepare, transfer knowledge, transfer skills, transfer abilities, whatever it is, to another group of people who will be able to take it over from you when you are not in office. Because definitely you cannot be there forever and ever. Now, if you check the military, if you join the military as a junior officer, say 18 years and 25 years, the number of years you are supposed to stay and work in the institution is 25 years. So assuming you join at the age of 20, you are retiring at the age of 45. It comes back to the subject of...
No, I think the Kufuor administration took it to 30.
They took it to 30 years. Okay, so assuming that you join at the age of 20 years, you are retiring at 50 years, right? You are able to serve for the entire 30 years. Now, at 50 years, you are still very active.
Yes.
You are still very young. Maybe your children are barely in a primary school. You've not taken care of them. Now, what do we have in place for people who go on retirement in this country? You see people, when they finish their work, they go on retirement. It is now they are trying to even put up a house. Our SNIT contributions that we do. Go and find out from the average teacher who go on pension, how much are they giving as a seed capital, and how much are they giving on monthly basis? Is that sustainable? Is that able to keep soul and body together?
So are you arguing for or against the decision to extend?
It's a complex issue, and then we need to approach it quite soberly look at all the issues, we need to be able to put certain mechanisms in place if the current status quo is to remain. People gradually are scared to go on pension. It's as if to go on pension means go home and go and die. Because once you go to pension, as I said, people who live in government facilities, government accommodation and all that, suddenly you go on pension, now you either have to go and rent an accommodation. People who either will not pay water bill, not pay electricity bill, now you are going to pay all these facilities. And have you really prepared for it? How much is your salary? Were you able to plan for your pension adequately?
Are you saying that Yohonu he falls in that category?
No. As for
or you are making a generous.
That's why I said that we can open that for discussion.
Okay.
People like Yohonu and the rest, and people at that high level of security services, they often will retire on their salaries and what have you.
Till they die.
And so until they die, they will be on their salaries. So whether he retires today or not, he will still enjoy all the benefits that he's enjoying today as a distant. So I don't think that keeping him there is because of those benefits or rewards. As I said, it could be based on expertise, could be based on experience. But again, these things, we need to look at them very well. Sometimes it brings down morale within institutions, right? Because the aspirations and the desire of everybody who works in an organization is to be able to rise to the very top. And that is why people put in their very best, work so hard, so they are recognized and then rewarded. So it becomes the case that maybe there are times somebody is 58 years now, thinking that Mr. Yohonu will retire next year, December, so he can also get the opportunity at least for 2 years before he goes on pension. Now, Mr. Yohonu's term has been extended by 2 years.
And he doesn't want to go.
So by the time he's 62 years that is going, that person that was in the line, who was expecting that the opportunity would have come to him too, would have been 60 years. So 2, 3, 4 of them will exit at the same time. And so even as a nation, we may not have the experience of seeing what those other people could have done given the opportunity. So it is not a straightforward issue. It's not an issue we can say it is good or it is bad. We need to soberly look at it. The only difficulty we have now, because it's a security issue and we are not close with all the facts and why this decision was arrived at, it becomes very, very difficult to talk about it the way one would have wished to do. And so at this point, whoever want to criticize the decision, especially based on the earlier directive that was issued by this government previously, has a right to do so, whatever reason that the police council also gave for which they made this recommendation, and the presidency also accept the recommendation. That too, because we are not really privy to it. But if you read the statement that was put out by Dr. Callistus, I think they largely touch on the fact that the current state of
put the statement on the screen so that we'll take a look at it, Ms. Abe.
Yeah, the current state of the institution, all of us, political parties, journalists, Ghanaian society, think that the security architect, that's why the police service, needs some resetting, needs some, we need to tweak it a bit to get it to be what exactly all of us.
So you're saying that it's because the government thinks that the police service needs resetting. There are no young people who could also, based on the establishment of the police council, going by the provision in the Constitution, Article 200, as well as subsequently the advisory from the police council, pick the best of the crop to succeed Yohonu. Is that what the government thinks?
What I've tried to do this morning is to look at it from all sides. I've looked at the pros and cons of what extending somebody's, retirement age. That yes, maybe of his expertise, of his experience. Now you can ask the question legitimately. So, is it the case that he is the only person within the setup that have those skills and those experiences, and that when he exits, no other person can do same? No other person. That is a legitimate question you want to ask. That's a legitimate question you want to ask. Now, as I said, the issue of morale, the issue of confidence in the system, sometimes it comes into questioning, and if you don't take time, you are not likely to get the support and the cooperation of other officers along the line. But again, I'm saying all of us are somehow limited based on the information, the facts available to us. The reason why this particular decision was arrived at More so when a directive has been issued earlier, we are not privy to that. And so we are not able to make definite statements. We can only wish him the very best of luck. We can only pray that he's able to get the police institution. See, Roland, I can say this without any fear of contradiction, that those who think that, like in other jurisdictions where people at this level are even elected by a system, and they are given a tenure of office, so that when they take up the position, they have the confidence to implement policies that will benefit the generation of the society. I think that those arguments, I think that we should bring back to the fore and interrogate and have proper conversation on. Because the current police institution and architecture that we have, all of us political actors, when you are in government, you tend to believe, to accept, to appreciate. As soon as you move into opposition, the same system now come across as is antagonistic towards you. You don't know hostile towards you, because we are able to manipulate, we are able to control, and officers tend to pander to, the political power that gave them the opportunity to serve. And so, if we can, soberly and frankly have a conversation, have we arrived at that point as a nation where these persons, we can get an electoral college that will elect them, we can give them a term of office. So he knows that if I come as an IGP...
I don't understand. Is he also positioned that at the time that the directive was being issued by Dr. Kalisus Mahama, all these things and ideas, and then the position you're espousing?
I think now on this subject, where I am now, I'm expressing personal views and opinion on the subject matter. I have stated that these are the two statements that we put out, what the government positions are. I cannot challenge it. I cannot disagree with it, because I'm not close with all the facts and why the government decided on this decision, or why the police council made this recommendation. I cannot question that at this point. The only thing I can do is to support it. However, I've gone beyond just that to look at the other side of it, that what happens within the police institution when some of these directives or these decisions are taken. Does it help the institution itself? And I've also looked at what the conversation has been around for a very long time as to how we can go about this issue, so that when officers are in office, they have the peace of mind. They know they are going to stay there until the agreed retirement age. And when that time comes, they bow out quietly. Whichever way, it's a conversation. For me, let people have their views and have their own bite. I know Zaato is rehearsing.
Please leave Zaato alone. When you were making the point,
that is permissible. At this point, let him look at it.
When you were making your point,
I have not said anything wrong.
When you were making your point, Dr. Zaato never.
Oh, it was smiling a lot. Anytime I turn out,
so he shouldn't smile.
I didn't say that.
Dr. Zaato, smiles of double standards. A position A today and then another position.
My dear Honorable, you go explain Tayaro. I feel your pain. Say that.
I don't have any pain.
You feel his pain.
I don't have any pain.
I feel his pain.
I don't have any pain.
Look, as a matter of principle, I think every president should be given the opportunity, especially when it comes to national security and security issues, to assemble his team. I think that president should be given enough free hand when it comes to national security. And as so long as they are not breaching constitutional laws, that they should, because they see things we don't see. They hear things we don't hear. They read reports we don't report. And keeping the realm safe and secured is the number one responsibility of the president. That's why they are the commander-in-chief. So I believe that the president should not be faced with any challenges when it comes to assembling his national security team. The Inspector General of Police is the core, one of the biggest pillars of their national security. And so a president should have that right. IGP Yohonu is a consummate policeman, law enforcement agent. He's come inside the system, he's handled the transition well, and he's doing his ultimate best for the police. I have absolutely no problem with him professionally or in person. There have been some few fractions with the police here and there. We have cause to complain about them, talk about them, and I think that in general, we need a lot of reforms and things like that. So I have no doubt. The problem is that, like everybody is saying, it is when you see this rampant and flagrant flip-flopping and hypocrisy.
Flip-flopping?
Flip-flopping. Completely.
Why do you say that?
That's the problem. You just said it. Nobody forced Kalisus Mahama to issue that letter. You don't know if you remember. We discussed it here when that thing came.
Yes, we did.
That day, I was vociferously defending UTAC because university lecturers are in a peculiar situation. Look, sometimes by the time you get promoted to associate professor or prof, you're almost about retiring. And universities have a tendency of keeping full professor and associate professors on board to supervise PhDs.
I remember very well.
To supervise PhDs and MPhils and mature, while the younger ones are burdened with undergraduate teaching and market. It's a system. So I asked that question. Later on, something happened. The education minister made UTAG and issued a statement that universities were not what? Part of that directive. So my question is that, now, are we saying security services are not part of? You should make that, because whenever the secretary of the president writes something and issues a statement, we should be able to take it to the bank. We should be able to know that that is a solid, that is the position. But today, then I ask my question, okay, what is the government's policy on post-retirement contracts? I don't know. If a student were to ask me today, okay, what is this current government's policy? I don't know what the policy is. But we should know, there should be policy clarity. It helps people so to know, because now, people can now have the opportunity to read innuendos, to read motives into disappointments. Just precisely because of what you've done.
What you're saying is serious. Are you saying there's policy inconsistency?
There is. You have two statements. So what is this government's policy on this? And this is not the first time we have this policy inconsistency. And that's what I'm talking about, the government flip-flopping. Remember the issue of the interior minister saying that Galamseyers will be what? What's the
repatriated.
Repatriated. And then the government saying that when they say no, they'll be tried here, and now the president is saying that they need to establish fast community tribunals to fast track them. So I'm asking, how will you fast track them and prosecute them while you're also repatriating them? Or are you saying that only Ghanaian Galamseyers will face the rigors of the tribunals? So when I'm asking, why do you keep having this flip-flopping, these policy inconsistencies within one government? Why? Why can't they get their acts together and tell us that, look, this is an articulate, a coherent policy, so that we understand? You could also, because you see, if you look at Khalifa Mohammed's statement, he did not make any provisions. There were no loopholes to say that, look, or except under certain circumstances. And sometimes it's important.
As in there were no caveats.
No caveats. Just read it. Sometimes when your issues are, you need to put those caveats, because again, you are running the machinery of state. And sometimes things happen. You need it. So when you put it like that, that is where you can then come back to say, look, yes, this was the policy, but this and this has changed. I can understand that. But if you issue no caveat, if you put nothing there, and then you are now coming out to tell me that you have not issued it, and you see, conveniently, completely just ignore that other statement. They don't even make reference to it. So what are we supposed to make of this? This is, apart from it sounds even amateurist, because you don't expect very experienced policy makers, people who have been there, done that before, to be engaged in such activities. It doesn't help anybody. Now I'm asking myself, if I am also the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, and I'm also a tyrant, so should I also expect one? If I am, should I also expect
CDS?
No, I'm not like, if you are the CDS, should I also expect one Chief of Defense Staff, right? If I'm also in another security agency, should I expect one? Now, imagine I'm in the President Service, the head of President Service. Should I also expect one? If I don't give one, and then Yohonu is giving one, is it because you don't like me? Why? But assuming you came out, it's not too late. By the end of today, the National Security Coordinator or the government could come out and look, this directive given does not apply to the security services. For the security services, His Excellency still retains that power to decide on case-by-case basis. Most of that is what you do. So that again, we now know that there's consistency, that when that time happens, the president will be allowed. But if you don't do that, and you keep doing it, then you put us into a guessing stage. And once you do that, this is how the people, they can compromise their professionalism. They can now, if assuming assuming I'm the head of the president services, I'm not asking, and I'm near retirement. The question I ask myself, what do I have to do to get a post-retirement contract? So whatever I'm doing, that is in my mind, because I know that if I do something against the party, I will get a contract. If I do something against the government, I won't do it. So if I put my professionalism above other political interests, it may come to hurt me. That is what begins to what? Compromise their professionalism. But if there's a clear-cut policy that, look, this can happen, then I can also factor it, like you are saying, the moment you become a judge, we then assume that you have life tenure. So in this case now, you can, there are issues about promotions that we can come to. Or if you're a Supreme Court judge, you have life tenure, but then there's the issue whether you're going to be Chief Justice.
Because the current Chief Justice was there 17 years.
Exactly.
Ignored.
Thank you. So I'm saying that in those cases there's still consistency. He's not losing the job as a justice of the Supreme Court. But the point I'm saying is that the bigger point here becomes, let there be some cause, especially in the security services, because they don't sleep so that we'll sleep.
Okay.
If you make them begin to second guess and begin to now play pander to political whims and caprices, the safety of the realm might be compromised.
Okay. So the point has been made here about this is a security issue. There are provisions in the Constitution that says that the police council, then, based on that appointment, of course, on advice of the Council of State, would have to be working with the Inspector General of Police, advisory, looking at internal security, etc. So if they advise or recommend and say, look, this man has just been at the helm of affairs so short a time, there's this program of action, of course, it's just a supposition, etc. And so we think we need to keep him there for some time to do consolidation due to national security issues, etc. Could we have exceptions irrespective of whether there are no caveat to an earlier statement or not in this extension, in this narrative we're having? So look,
Bro, just give me 30 seconds.
I give you Fred took 3, 4, 5 minutes to talk about.
Over the weekend I was in Tamale and Salaga, and let me express my sincere appreciation to all those that extended a hand of help. You are many.
Tamale and Salaga.
Salaga. You are many.
What were you doing there?
I was on my, we are doing politics.
United Party?
Absolutely. And
did you meet some of the aspirants from NPP on the rounds?
They are joining our party in their thousands. It's amazing. And we will continue to encourage them. And let me also use this opportunity to honor one young man who is doing something great in this country. That is Robert Coleman. Wembley Sports Complex.
Wembley Sports Construction Company
Limited. That young man must be given all the necessary support in this country. If we help him, AstroTurfs, he is doing a human job. So Robert,
Introduce me to him.
I only
for Sisala. Sisala East.
Why not if it's going to help in the sport development of Sisala East? What is the big deal about this?
I'm saying introduce to him.
Me myself, I need one at Okape South for my people.
South.
Yes.
You know he's going for primary, so he needs it so that he can.
On the second of the UP.
No.
United
Please go
Party.
ahead.
MPP's collapse. What is he doing in that party?
They have their primary.
They have even boycotted this platform.
So what is he doing here?
Please go ahead.
The biggest platform in this country.
He's here on his own right.
No, he's an MPP member.
Yeah, sure. He's here on his own right. Please go ahead.
It doesn't respect
Roland.
Solo and Fred. I call you to order.
Thank you. Order.
So first of all, my candid opinion. I am not one of those that are for contract extensions. I am not for it.
Why?
Because then it, as it were, diminishes morale in various workplaces. But you see, I find nothing wrong, absolutely wrong, from my candid opinion, heart of heart, with what the president has done.
Why?
You see, when you are the president of the land, all you need to do, your Bible is the Constitution. Is that not the case?
This one?
This is the Constitution. The president is regulated by the Constitution. Now, if we go to Article 199, which has been amended, I mean, the Act 527, the Constitution Amendment Act of 1996, it gives the president that opportunity to extend people that are due for retirement their tenure by no more than 2 years. Because Article 99 says that people are supposed to retire by the age of 60 years.
199.
Yes. Then we amended, Ghana as a country amended our own constitution and gave the president the opportunity to extend public officers who are due for retirement by 2 years. That's the maximum. They cannot go beyond the 2 years. So if I am a citizen that is expecting the president to operate within the confines of the law, and I see that the president has done this, all that I need to do is to check with the law whether the president is right or wrong. So on the basis of the law, the president is right. And then the reason why is that he can only do so based on the exigencies of the situation. You and I know that Yohonu was appointed somewhere on the 13th of March 2025. Let's be fair to ourselves. 13th of March 2025, he is due on retirement December. it means you would have expended 11 months. Yohonu took over 11 months.
No.
Less than that.
Less than that. That would be 9 months.
9 months.
And you and I were in this country. He took over a turbulent police administration.
Oh, how so?
Here was a police administration where, what's the name? Dampare was sacked and people were jubilating openly.
Within the rank and file.
Within the rank and file at the various barracks. So he took over a mess situation.
Really?
That he needed to calm it down. I'm telling you, I don't know Yohonu anyway, and I don't intend, I only know him as the IGP. But you see, we must always be frank to the fact. Now, March to date, he's stabilizing the system. Now, you don't hear the bickering that much. So if you are the president, within only less than 11 months, you say another IGP must come. Now, it starts the issue of what you call it, lobbying, with its own confusion. So if you're a new administration, you would want the system to stabilize first before you bring in a new IGP. Now, let's put Callisto's first statement that seems to be the talk of town, and then let's dissect it and see whether those that are criticizing him and the statement will stand the test of time. You see, a careful look at it. I started criticizing him until I took a deep breath. Sometimes you must take a deep breath and go back to the statement and see whether or not it is we that are as we're running ahead of ourselves, or he was also spot on with that statement. Look, what is the heading of that statement?
Suspension of the grant of contract appointments.
Kindly give me the meaning of to suspend something. If you say suspending of something or suspension of something, what is this? To suspend something, what is it?
Suspension
or suspend
a state of okay, suspension. Okay, so suspension, the meaning is
a noun. Is that not the case? So it comes from suspend,
the action of suspending someone or something, or the condition of being suspended.
So go to suspend, type suspend, and let's see whether this will not stand the test of what we are discussing. To suspend is what?
Temporarily prevent from continuing.
Absolutely.
Why this explanation?
Emphasis on temporarily. So he chose his word carefully, and I give it to him for getting it right. He's a land economist. He's my senior course mate. He got it right.
From KNUST.
KNUST. He was my TA.
And he lectured us.
I have known him to be a brilliant student, and I would have been very surprised he would have made that fundamental error. Absolutely.
Put the statement back on.
So to suspend is to temporarily hold on to something. What was happening before this release? People were all over the place, including academia.
They
wanted extension.
Why not? It's allowed by the Constitution.
And that was a new administration that had come into place April 5th. I mean, the president was sworn in on the 7th of January. By March, he was still even appointing his ministers. So if you come around and say that you need extension, it will be a problem. So what this release sought to do was to put temporary hold on these extensions. Did he give you the timeline for the temporary hold? Or did he need to come back to you and tell you that the temporality of it has been taken off?
Why not? If he issued a statement publicly,
so
then you come back.
So the point is that he issued the statement to deal with the specific situation. Are you with me? Now, the exigencies, that's why I started from the angle of the Constitution. Is the president allowed to do what he has done? The answer is yes. He's right on, he's spot on under Act 527.
Hey, Solo.
Are you with me? So the point is that it is matter do about nothing. Then you go back into the Constitution. The president is supposed to be advised on how to manage the security by what? The police, by the police council. Is that not the case? I have also read on various portals, including your network, a report just recently on the 3rd of November 2025.
You mean 3news.com?
3news.com, written by Stanley Nibleu. Does he work here? He's one of your reporters, where he was quoting one Angel Lolo, who is, I think he's supposed to be a member of the police council, touring around the country. When I read it and I said, let me find out, because I have a lot. Angel Lolo is supposed to be, I think he's a council member, if my memory serves me right. Now, I went back to have a huge friends in the police to find out whether indeed there were engagements within the police service as to whether there has to be an extension of the IGP's mandate or not. And guess what? That was when I realized from my friends that the police, Fred has been a police officer before, am I right?
No.
You have never been a police. No.
He's been an education.
Oh, sorry. That the police had, or they have 25 regions. You know, Ghana has a 16 region. But in the police, they have 25 regions. They went round and solicited the views of junior ranks and senior ranks.
Are you talking about they have 25 commands or
No, I said there.
regions?
No,
Regions.
police deals with regions. You know, in Greater Accra we have
Yes,
Tema is a region,
Tema region,
and then we have
exactly.
absolutely. So I stand for correction, but what I got from my friends in there was that they have 25 regions, and that they saw their views, and the majority view was that because of the way and manner there has been turbulence within the police service, it will only make sense to extend Yohonu's tenure so that he brings balance into the system. That's why some of these says, you see, it is very, very, it's a thin and a fine line that you need to find out, because we are dealing with a security institution. Once again, we are dealing with people who also had expectations, because if Yohonu had left, somebody would have taken over. That person would have also been an IGP, and it would have been good for him.
What about the question that has been posited here
Yes.
about a state of policy inconsistency?
What is inconsistent about it?
Well, release has been given.
The release, I just told you that to suspend is to temporarily hold on. So there was no policy inconsistency. There is no policy inconsistency anyway. You understand? The man chose his word. If the man had said that we have cancelled it, that would have even been unconstitutional. Because I've just told you that we have amended our Article 199 to say that the president has the power to extend. When it happened to appear to, in this country, IGP was given 2 years extension. Fell in line with the same provision.
But it's not the first time.
This is not the first time. You see, the reason why people are making,
Not the directive that was
I will give you the opportunity to come. I don't have any problem, because what I'm telling you is my frank, unbiased position. That if somebody must come and point to me with constitutional provision that the president has flouted, that I always keep referring you to
So
that.
nobody around the table here is saying, Fred hasn't said, Zaato hasn't said, even those arguing against this new extension,
Yes.
are arguing that the president has flouted any constitutional provision.
So then what are we discussing?
Okay, so the discussion is that despite the existence of a constitutional provision and the power that the constitution enjoins on the president,
Yes.
there has been a directive from that same president.
A temporal directive.
I think that's the law has explained
That's
that.
your interpretation.
No, that is what the meaning of it is.
Please put a statement on the line, because this
You
is
see,
thing.
you see,
If the law had really
if you don't take the
at straws.
Solo,
so there is something, I have nothing to lose with it. When the IGP is not there, what have I got to lose?
Straws.
where is that?
So
If the IGP is out for the place, what is my interest in there?
So
If he is there, what is my interest in there? I don't have any interest. I don't intend to be in police. I don't have anything to do with the police. In fact, the police is supposed to protect us. So whoever is the IGP, his first mandate is to protect me. But we are analyzing a situation. And I am combining. I've seen where people, sometimes it's not that everyone is shouting hallelujah, hallelujah makes them Christians. You must take your time and go back and also give the benefit of doubt. So knowing the caliber of the executive secretary and his intellect, I said, let me take a second look at the statement. So I saw suspension. Then I saw suspension mandate for suspend. Then I looked at the meaning of to suspend, and I saw to put a temporary hold on something. And
temporarily prevent from continuing
Absolutely.
or being in force or effect.
Yeah, it's temporary.
so if something is temporary, how would you then come back and say that was the policy position?
Maybe the only argument, or a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe if you are say, for instance, that the statement that was issued
Yes.
was catching a
No, Fred, are we making this argument as if the statement was not issued at all? Because the statement was
Nobody
issued.
has said no, but the press alone.
The statement was issued to deal with a specific situation.
Yes.
You have come into government, everyone was looking for extension of mandate, and you have not even finished with the full complement of the
Really, so you are
ministers
translating.
to deal with matters. Why then would you then go ahead and say that you are approving it? You put a temporary hold on it, and then later you allow the system to flow.
Okay, I have this one from an ACP.
Yes.
An ACP says Solo is right. The police service was in a state of turbulence at the time Yohonu took off. Is this an ACP? I can't mention his name.
No, but
You've seen it.
yeah, but it's a well-known fact. Unless you want to play the ostrich here, you understand? Really? But look here, even if we were going to do politics with Yohonu was appointed as a deputy IGP in this country by Akufo-Addo. Is that not the case?
Well, that's true.
So in terms of politicking, then the NDC is taking they are taking that big bite by making someone who was appointed by Akufo-Addo as a deputy IGP and the IGP. But you cannot look at it that way. You understand?
Conflating two completely different.
Which ones are that?
And that's the point.
You see, the problem I have with you is that, that when you were speaking, I was sitting down here. You have not been given the opportunity. What problem do you have with this IGP?
Not.
So what?
I didn't like it.
What problem do you have with the statement?
Good. Now let me tell you this.
Now, have you given the opportunity?
No, you haven't ended.
So
End for me so that I'll
so if it was
for me, you have 30 seconds.
But you see, we need to clear it. If it was him, you would have played the victim.
I'll be quiet.
That you never allowed him by interject. But the truth of the matter is that the two statements, there are nothing wrong with it. The police council, nobody has come that the police council never recommended the extension of the IGP's mandate to the president. Once the president received that recommendation and acted upon it, and once I look at the statement that was put out by Callistos, and I do not find anything wrong with it, on what basis would I go to town with? Because everyone is saying it, I also told that lie. No way. Obviously, what I'm saying would have.
So you are going against the grain.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing has taken place. It's much ado about nothing. Just that people will suffer because of the extension. People will be 60 years and above, and they will not have the opportunity to be IGP. I sympathize with such people because they had expectations. But there is nothing illegal about it. If the president had done anything illegal, I'll be the first person to call him out.
All right. You wanted to say something because
let
me override you.
Okay. We are conflating two completely different things. I have not said, and nobody here has said that.
Indeed.
IGP Yohonu. I've actually said that. Look, the president should not be what handcuffed behind him.
Said that.
Yeah, good. Thank you. You've done.
No, so why are you saying that? So if you are saying that I'm conflating two. No. You see, you must be clear. He said that I am conflating.
You just traveled, went to Salaga and Tamale and came back. Relax.
But people in Tamale,
he's relaxed.
They greet you.
That's his relaxed. The point I'm making is that we wouldn't have been here, one, had there not been that statement. That statement, because the question now you ask yourself is that such statements, such acts lead to what? People who are losing faith in governance. It leads to people not trusting public servants when they come out. Will you issue a statement, even if it is temporal? Has the temporal statement been lifted? If it's temporal, has it been lifted? Has it been lifted? You could now tell us. That's what I'm saying. That in this appointment, there could have just been a line that says that.
A caveat. That's when they find.
When they find, or you could have just said that, or issue another statement that suspension has been listed. And I've asked the question: is it now? Has that statement now been? Has it outlived its usefulness? We understand that. Yes.
So for you, the statement issue or the one circulated,
yes,
currently,
yes,
so called signed by Carlos could have had maybe a caveat that pursuant to. That's
one way. Okay. Another way could have been to now say that, okay, we have now settled. We were a government transition. We've now settled. We've now taken full control. So we have suspended that temporary session is now removed. Now the president will now address these issues on a case-to-case basis. You bring clarity to the situation. My point is that if you haven't done that, now we have two policies there. Okay. Which is which?
I don't get it.
That's why I don't get what you're saying.
I don't get what you're saying.
He says that the temporary suspension is
temporal.
Well, still in effect.
What are you talking about?
Is it still in effect?
But temporal means that it's temporal.
Yes, temporal.
It's not.
So with this, it lifts it.
So now you are telling us that suspension has been lifted.
No, but that is the only reasonable deduction you can make out of it.
No, you cannot.
Why?
You cannot, because that policy still stays. Okay. It still stays.
So what you are saying that what you are saying that the statement issue confirming the extension of the years of Yohonu does not override. No,
it doesn't. They have not said that.
But he says it overrides.
Based on what?
But this is the current statement.
No. So my point is that look, it's important for us to know this, and it doesn't hurt It doesn't cost anything to bring clarity to this. It doesn't help for the secretary.
So that is another matter you are discussing. That you now want clarity.
It's the main matter. If you, the question is the main matter. It's the only matter. Have you rescinded that thing? Have you annulled it? Yes. Now we are going to deal with all you could say that, because it happened. I'm saying this happened. When it came to education and UTAG, the Minister of Education says this does not apply. It was clarified.
Is there?
Yes, the Minister of Education clarified that it does not apply to academia. Policy clarification, simple. You could say a similar thing. This one does not apply to.
So you're saying that there's a void because there hasn't been public
but we are not being fair to the
statement.
situation. No, Zaato, let's get it clear. Around April, there was so much confusion everywhere. You couldn't have singled out other areas.
But you could do it.
All right. Let's go out of the studio. Fred, I'll come back to you. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Coates.
I vehemently disagree with.
Well, he says by way of policy, it's a variance.
I completely disagree with him. And again, when he says that Mr. Dampare, Dr. Dampare is not his friend, he himself admitted on UTV, I watch him, when he said Madam Tiwa and Dampare are very good friends. So if he come on TV,
he said Yohonu is his friend. That's what he said.
But so he didn't say that the man didn't like me, so they were friends. You see, we are in a democracy. Everybody has a right of an opinion on every subject. Nobody can take that right from anybody. But don't assume that because that is your right, everybody else is wrong. You know, I don't think that is fair in a democracy. You are saying what you are saying based on the facts available to you. Whoever took the decision also took that decision based on the facts available to him. I don't think that all of us who are running this commentary like Mother Ghana than the president who took the decision or the police council that took the decision. I don't think any of us like the police service than those who are in the police council themselves. The senior police people are represented on the police council. And I don't think that we know better than them. Yes, it's within our right as Ghanaians to run commentary and to express our views and opinion on this subject matter. The most important thing, and nobody has said that so far, that this constitution, the Republic of Ghana, the 1990 constitution, has been violated in any way. And I think Solo raised a point that is very, very important when he says, per the first statement that was issued, the extension was suspended. The extension was not abolished. Because to abolish that would mean that you'd have infringed on the 1992 constitution. It was only suspended. I agree with you. And I agree with Dr. Zaato when he says that in issuing this second directive or statement, at least a caveat or reference should have been made to the earlier statement. In crafting these speeches again, from where they sit at the presidency, what they know, what they are privy to, that you and I don't know. I am very, very, very certain that they thought through all these things. These statements are not just crafted by one person in his bedroom and put in the public domain. They must have checked every word, the wording, every single expression, and they are convinced that under the circumstances, it is the right thing to do, and they have done it. We can disagree with them, that is fine. But once we cannot prove at this point that the constitution has been violated or they have done something that has never been done in this country before, I don't think that we can drag this issue too much.
Not always right.
Yeah, so we can't drag this issue very much. Okay. All we can say at this point is that we wish Mr. Yohonu the very best. We will still plead with the police hierarchy, everybody. Give him the support and the cooperation, everything that he needs to be able to deliver to all of us the kind of security that all of us will be happy with. That is all I can say at this point. So, I don't know. We can leave it. Maybe come to the next topic. And then
okay. So Solo has made his position clear. Now let's get into the last subject. We'll spend some few minutes on it. It's on the High Court issue.
I thought I'm going to talk about
which one?
The Wesley girls.
No, with the Wesley girls. Okay. You want to share? You want to share?
You see, Lauren. Sometimes we need to be very careful.
Spend 2 minutes.
If there's one thing that we have succeeded in doing this country beautifully, is the fact that when it comes to religious tolerance, we have done that beautifully. We have coexisted. We have been a happy people. I am a politician. I campaign at all places. When I am going to a Muslim community to go and campaign, when I have to visit the mosque, I put my religion, my Christian biases and belief systems aside.
You even wear
so I can meet. I will dress to reflect that. I have seen a number of times, even the vice president, when he has to visit any Muslim community, His hair is well covered. I've seen my women organizer, Dr. Louisa Bisu. I've seen all the women in our NDC. You will see them reflecting that. In this country, we have Christian schools, we have non-Christian schools, we have Muslim schools, and what have you. If I, Fred Agbenyo, today decide that I'm going to attend Islamic University, or that I'm taking my son to Islamic University, I must be willing, ready, and prepared to follow the ethos and the belief system of that institution, to the extent that nobody compel me to choose that school to go. You understand? We all know the role that the various faiths have played over the year in maintaining discipline, especially at the secondary school level. The Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Islamic faith, all of them have played, and it is the culture of that religion that has found expression in the institution, that the discipline that we are talking about has always come to the fore, that we have seen. And so I am not too happy with this whole issue that is going on. Why?
Well, Wesley Girls, they insist that.
You see, this thing about right. It's in this country, we are as if we are copying blindly, even child rights. Go and check the way we are pushing those whole issues, forgetting that we are a people, we have a culture, we have a religion, we have a way of life. Today, when you go to the West and see the way they are going about their things, they are bringing up their children. Several people who live in America and every part of the world now, they are bringing their children back to Ghana. They think that they are supposed to come and imbibe our culture. They must come and understand our way of doing things, because they think that is happening in America. But we sit here and some few people go and study a few things out there, and they come and impose on all of us. Right. You can't discipline, you can't control, you can't. What are we doing to ourselves? I beg, this thing should not become a subject for discussion. Before your child leaves home, my children are attending a Catholic school. I am not a Catholic. Once they are there, it's incumbent on them that they respect the decision of the church. It's as simple as ABCD.
That position you've just espoused is at variance to what the Minister of Education has said.
What did he say? He said that the Constitution.
Yes, I know, the Constitution. But what you've just said.
Rights.
Yes, exactly. What you've just said is completely different at variance of what the Minister of Education just said yesterday. Because you were saying that it doesn't matter if you are a Muslim and you go to a Catholic school, you should still be allowed to practice your faith. You are saying that if you are not a Catholic, but if your child goes to a Catholic school, he didn't have that. So I'm saying they are very.
But what did he say wrong? What did the Minister?
I'm not saying he said no. I'm not saying they are saying wrong. I'm simply saying that the position he just articulated now is at variance with what.
Echoing the minister's position.
No, it's at variance.
I'm stating a position.
I'm stating a position.
That's why I just
that what you are saying is different from what the minister said. But here's my position.
He didn't say you were.
I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying that what you said is different from what the minister said. And these inconsistencies that are the problem. This is what I'm saying. These inconsistencies are the problem.
What is the consistency?
I attended a Catholic junior seminary.
Which one?
And St. Francis Xavier. So I should have been a priest, but something happened. Yeah, I should have been a priest, but something.
You should have been a priest.
Yes, but
preaching in the
church. I should have gone to the major seminary, the junior, minus the senior seminary. I didn't go. Some things.
Dr. Zaato.
But yeah, it's true.
Reverend Father Zaato.
What would I tell you in the nice name? That would be nice. So beautiful girl confused me. Let's go. There are certain things. That is where I was talking about why policy is important. You see, public policies tend to be utilitarian. They try to satisfy the biggest benefit for the biggest people. Laws tend to be very specific. Laws just pick winners and losers. They just said you have lost and you've gone. These issues have been there have been some kind of balance that have existed in secondary schools all this while. The balance has been in such a way that schools have found ways to accommodate these things without losing their identities. The moment you take these things to court, and the moment the justice system or the courts are called to rule, they are going to make emphatic rules. Courts, they are not going to find middle grounds. And that is the way we are heading towards. Because when you go to court, they all go to court. And everybody starts talking about the rights you are talking about. At the end of the day, we are going to have a system that the age long, the harmony that has existed in secondary schools is going to be a sacrifice on the altar of what? Right, when it goes to court. And you've seen, look, the position you've articulated is also the same or similar to what the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have espoused. So now, if everybody is moving to their corners, what we now see, everybody is moving to their corners, taking entrenched positions. When you do that, it's the children that suffer. We do there's the children that do not benefit. I believe that there's enough room in the middle for people to move from entrenched positions to find common grounds for the sake of the children. For the sake of the children, everybody should see. We should find a way. I don't think it's too late to remove this case from the courts, to come out, let us sit down. And Jojo, I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late for the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, the Christian Council, and the Muslim brothers and sisters to sit down on the altar. Exactly. So this issue, I'm saying that people should help advise to withdraw this case, and then we can go to that memorandum and find a common space. Because if you allow this thing to continue to the court, and if they allow the court to make a ruling, the ruling, I don't think, might inure to the benefit of the children. We should always put the interest of the children at heart.
So which position did you espouse?
My position is that, please, withdraw the law, withdraw the suit, and now let us go to the memorandum of understanding that was established and use it to work.
Between the missions and
between the missions,
yeah, because there was an agreement.
There was an agreement. Let's go back to that agreement.
Should be mission school.
I went to Prempeh College.
Prempeh is which mission?
Presby and Methodist.
Okay.
Before then, I had never sung any Methodist hymn or Presbyterian hymn before.
You didn't go to church?
I mean, I on the street. I wanted to practice. Yeah, street. I wanted to practice my fetish priest. On Prempeh College.
You wanted to be traditional,
so that we,
so to speak,
we put on our powder.
You know, my name is Jebunti, right?
It's absurdity that Methodist, the Wesley Girls School must insist.
Really?
They must insist on what has brought the school to where it is, for which reason parents want to send their ones there. Prempeh College must insist on what has brought the school to the levels that people want to attend. TRMS must insist. Look, there was this ruling about the Rasta man in Lachimota. People were jubilating. We must allow rights. If you are a young man and you are going to school, are you going to learn discipline or you want to do what pleases you?
No, but Rasta doesn't mean you are in.
What Rasta? Go to Rasta school. The school says you must keep your head at a certain.
Now in the US doing.
Forget about that. I've seen him writing all. You see, we must not introduce impunity in our system.
But what is impunity?
What are you talking about? The school says ABCD. That's why we learn discipline. After school, if you want to do your own thing, go and do your own thing.
You mean conformity?
Conformity.
What is it?
Then they must also go there and say that you will not attend prep. It's against our religion.
We watch bosses.
What is this?
We wear bosses to lectures.
This right is what some professors asked us to be doing tumu in this country. Remember tumu, LGBTQ. I saw professors going to court. We must allow men and men, women and women to be sleeping because of right. Small thing we are in court because we think that we know English.
You think that's a bin of
that? Wesley girls must insist. They can go to court and get their ruling. You go and meet the teachers there. What is this business? We are going to practice our religious faith. We must do, what is it? Your words are there to learn discipline. When they come back to their homes, you infuse your religion into them. Why is it that you are not even preaching about African religion? All this Western religion. They are not even talking about that. Look, the schools are what they are because there are certain principles. And not because you want to introduce to them new things to destroy the schools. Ever since you started all these business, some of the quality, the caliber of schools we had, the quality is even going down. We are not allowing the schools to implant in these walls the discipline that we used to know. The last time I went to my alma mater, I saw some boys keeping bushy hair. I said, this is not Prempeh College standard. You dare not put your hair go beyond a certain meter.
No, but Gen Zs have hair bushy.
They are on our various campuses using manner was doing TikTok because of some of these things. Everything I know my right. Hey, Mr. Education Minister, please, why you are going slippery? Allow the schools, the religious bodies to infuse the discipline. Wouldn't it be so nice that you are coming from an Islamic background, then you go to a Christian school, you also introduce it opens your mind about the worldview of religion.
Yes.
So what is this business that go to TRMS and go and see how Christians are praying every Friday? They know. Look, Sylvester Boating, a typical Christian, he can recite all the Quran from head to toe. He went to TRMS. Beautiful.
You go to a new environment,
beautiful,
a new culture.
Black Rasta, he went to TRMS.
Which Black Rasta?
Your own Black Rasta. Kumasi Tia Mas. Is he not Pan-Africanist? He can recite the Quran from head to toe. He led it there.
If I choose
The beauty of it, that is the school. And before you went there, Black Rasta, you knew that it's Tia Mas. We are not doing Christian business there. And people have not had any issues with it. Hajia Halima, they went to Wesley Girls. Did you ever hear them complain about religious treatment on campus? They went through it beautifully.
They knew before they went.
They made friends. When you go to the school, the Muslims, the Christians, they are so happy. You parents, adults that you are out, instead of encouraging them to continue to be happy, you are here and then creating also problems. Are you in the
parents and the adults rather creating problems?
The parents we have today,
not rights enshrined by the same constitution.
They open phone lines. I went to a particular school. You know, weekend they want the ones to speak to their parents. The parents of today, we have a problem. The ones are crying, parents are crying. I mean, Jesus Christ. Your word is in secondary school. You will miss it. You will miss it. After secondary school, you are never going to get hold of your word, because from secondary school, if it's going to continue, goes to university, independent life has started. Yeah. Why do you want to continue in this that be nonsense?
You mean cajoling them?
Cajoling.
So I have a friend, anyways, Zanabu Muhammad.
Zanabu.
I totally agree with you.
But what are you talking about?
Zanabu is a Muslim.
Yes.
But you think you are going to deliver with this?
I don't want to see. You said you totally agree with me.
The young ones in there, they are so happy.
What is that?
They embrace themselves. Me, my daughter, the best friend is a Muslim. When they are walking, you will not even see the difference. But you parents, you are out there and you are discussing right. Who cares about your rights?
Speak the truth and stop these things that we are doing in this country.
It's totally nonsense.
If you are come to TV3, you said you speak English or your money.
So Solomon said, I don't care. I don't care. We need policy, not law to this. Look, for the sake of the children, for the sake of the children, let's withdraw this lawsuit and let's go back to the memorandum of understanding
that we had with them.
Exactly. Sit down as adults around the table, put the interests of the children first, and get it done. That's my problem. My solution.
Honestly, this thing that we are doing is not fair, it's not proper.
Why not? They say that
every institution.
we're in the modern state. Republican dispensation.
When you are selecting,
the 1992 constitution is applied. This is a constitution. And Fred, what are you saying?
Listen, that's why we are saying.
And that's why the minister says that.
That is why you have several schools in this country. It's your choice. It's your decision. If you have decided to come to TV3, when you come to TV3, you do what they do at TV3.
What are you talking about?
I don't come from my house to come and determine your editorial policy for you. I don't come from my house to come and do whatever I like here. That's why you even have the power to even walk me away from your set. If you think that I'm doing something that contravenes your rules.
Fred, walk away.
Yes, I walk away. I carry my things. But that way, that's said.
Yeah, I understand the point. But you know, again, I will espouse this. I grew up in Ashaiman, and some of my friends today who helped me are big Muslim clerics and
the difference between you and
Alajis. I've had friends who were Christian, then converted to Islam.
Kudus is like a brother.
Yes.
You can see the same people go for a wedding in the church, then the next day they are all going to.
No problem anyway.
It's how we live.
You continue this, the fetish priest will go and create your own there, and you will see.
So you are saying that we need to have fetish priest also advocate.
Of course, but the moment if they grant, I'll go to court and allow them for them to have our fetish priest. Let them make that mistake at the body.
It's okay.
And you all send
let me read some comments so we can end.
I wasn't born a Christian. I Muslim. The name Jebuntia was given to me by divine by a soothsayer and given to me named by the gods of my.
So you have to go.
Exactly, I do. So if I go to school, they should give us a
I need to be careful when I'm getting close to the man now.
Jebuntia. There is no paracetamol.
Please put their mics up. You said Jebuntia means what?
Jebuntia.
There is no paracetamol.
The third males are named after the war gods of the family.
That's why you want to try to go.
So you are the son of a god.
No, I'm saying
the man is
war gods.
The man is very fearful.
Thank you, fear me. I'm very powerful.
We are not scared of their power. The blood of Jesus Christ is above every other power.
They use a dog, a sheep, a guinea fowl, and 3 children to name me.
That's right.
Yes. In the olden days, they needed the head of a Gonja.
Buhari Francis.
Oh, really?
Please, let me read some comments. Gentlemen. Buhari Francis says Zaato and Solo are on the same path for the first time. History made in the studios of TV3.
Amen.
Please shake hands. Shake hands.
He's joining the UP.
The truth is one. The truth is
The last week I didn't have it easy at the hands of Zaato at all. So today we're on the same platform.
We've made up.
We've plateaued. Then Jay Harland Lee said, I know that's a real name, that's social media name, says it's the most silly argument I have heard on this issue. The Muslims are not saying you should change your standards or teachings at the schools. They are simply asking you to allow them to observe daily prayers. They are not asking for anything more than that. And then okay, I see Benu Anthony as well. Stephen Beidu says, please remind everybody else criticizing the education minister that his wife and children are all Christians and he's a pure Muslim. He even introduced the wife during his vetting from the Ashanti region. So what's our problem? The rights are enshrined.
So I'm commonly now one thing about this, mega Mrs. said this to a year 2 years extension John the money Mahama Ediama Ratite Yohonu no ne kwan so ano no send se hunti owura ne bae. In fact yenyante ne ho afubuo bia say enkofo personally eka say they have problem with him, said they na dampare ono ankasa ne nkrofo etimi ka say dampare ye say dampare ye that and those kind of things, you know. I say since Ayera John the money Muhammad born the din as the IGP no, although security ewukrum ha enhye den gina ne nan so, because your team same bebre even boku issue ne sa ne manema no ni yekun bi to ha ni yeyese eno de okọ oman bia mu a sebi mo fa nche me ewo hono. But nipa de bia meka sa wo pese odi adwuma hye obi nsa hwe nipa no de nkofo eka fa ne ho na tie papa ewom na ne boni ewom no yeden kanina bom na firewo argument. You get me right? Na firewo argument. I think say be boa papa because ohwe tete Yohonu a oyobi a obeje adwuma no nani abere oye adwuma no se de unhu se obe no gina hanu me sa unhu se obe no gina hanu me direct traffic because enye na adwuma no okomande nkrofo na nkrofo akoye se adwuma no de oye nyina eni se o concentrate on his work as the IGP Inspector General of the police service, no. The Mijidi say these 2 years extension the president in the man no ne kwan so a eno no, but krom idea yakonya NDC a yesamso NPP won chini de the conversation would be what different. The conversation would be what different. A be different altogether. A be different altogether. What in the mature na say? Because you have some people they oppose it, and at the same time you have some people they will not oppose it. And who am I talking to? And I say, who am I referring to? That is the NPP fraternity. NPP amanyukuno. Enye de on ti ase ade tete Yohonu nya adwuma tete Yohonu nya sei na IGP dam party so mu aso na mo kan ya IGP aye sei oye hwan ye ko election o may lose tete Yohonu. You see, sometimes ade bia I was a Ghana ehwe ni ye. So biba na oye adwuma the only thing, and I say the listener. Okay, the listener ebetimi aye edi abo nipa no eye say ye be bom paye edi amani pa no na ye be bom paye amani pa no nya ahoden na wonya sabi ahokeka bi dia ye adwuma dia somo man no dance ye be bu nipa na bom na wa yesi no wa yesi esi sen munja sa hypocrisy no munja wate emboa mo munja sa hypocrisy na emboa mo enti mo tuma no esi so mo ka se president no na point na yi ni 2 years extension no mene sani puchimo why pourquoi puchimo Russian Russian language pourquoi why French mene sani Accra twi aden dinti amoyesa dinti amoyesa enti yesremo wura no enjoy the 2 years tenure in office na onye den onko. And I think say Omaini na so we will enjoy his leadership. Iti misra mo mpa mfama Tete Yohonu obi obre ne ho ase Tete Yohonu ye obayi ye hu se wo ya ade bia akọ stay ye contrary to the work. He's always focusing. He's always focusing. Besides, okoye deputy IGP no kan Akufo-Addo na yi no enti me wo bi mejina no nka se ndc aban na odi Tete Yohonu abe IGP Akufo-Addo na yi ni director of operations bra no mo be den mo beto aban thinking se nka oba chese obe skill ni ama de mo NPP e no no so se me nya ndc ni o me nya NPP ni na mom your mind bapa enti I will make things free and fair. NPP NDC for who say pa kwai o wadwen papa obetimi ya IGP na yero adwen Muhammad Yamana enti mini sani o munja sa asamba ya munya butere asamba ya Zaato Dr. Zaato nya butere asamba calm your nerves Solomon Owusu asamba mun calm down your nerves because sebi nya Ghana hana yete no obi ni mu bi nchin bi o ye na neti kurom ayi ni bi ekoso. We know what is going on in this country, and we have been following politics of today for so many years. Until Munja Namoyan, na papa no or enjoy tenure of office. I think so everybody. So Dr. Zaato, Asimbia everybiano, only the I use obebo 5 obe defend your man the NPP on your no. Na everybody. Chira wajuma conversation makrao.